Hello, Mary O'Malley here with the 11th video on my book, What's in the Way is the Way. So what we've been exploring together on these videos is you have a storyteller in your head and it tells itself stories all day long, and it likes and it dislikes and it wants this and it doesn't want that. And it's very rarely fully here for life. That's our homesickness. That's what we deeply long for. We have also explored that trying to stop this storyteller or get rid of it or fix it or understand it doesn't bring us the healing that we long for. The healing we're ready doesn't come from fixing, changing, rearranging anything. It comes from the ability to see and be with what is. This is a phenomenal power that we have been exploring. The power of compassionate curiosity. What happens when you begin to wake up this natural curiosity inside of you that is spacious around whatever is happening? You begin to truly see, oh, this is just a storyteller in my head. And you begin to unhook from all of its spells so that the energy, the bound up energy and those spells of fear and doubt and aloneness and confusion and anger, they are released and you can come back to life. And that's what this chapter is about. The title is Life is for You. Imagine waking up every morning with a sense of adventure, of knowing that life will bring you exactly what you need, both joyful and sorrowful, that will take you step by step from unconsciousness to consciousness. Will help you see your spells, will help you to unhook from your spells by putting you in the exact situations you need in order to see them, so that you can come back to life. So you can be open to this mysterious, magical, wonderful unfolding that is called life. Now, your mind may be feeling a little, I really like that, but I only want to be open to the good stuff. I don't want to be open to the so-called bad stuff. I don't want to feel my despair. I don't want to feel my anger. I don't want to feel lost and alone. And that is what we have done our whole lives. We have tried to manage our experience. Has that brought you the peace that you long for? When you learn how to open to both the joys and the contractions of your life, you don't bury those contractions inside of you. They don't run you from underneath your everyday awareness. We've looked in this book about how what you resist persists. When you don't open, when you don't look at what you have turned away from your whole life, it has power over you. And so we have looked about how you can bring your conscious awareness to the places that you've held tightly so that they can open up, and the energy that was bound up in them can open up so you can come back to life. So what does that look like? Michael Beckwith from the Agape Church has this wonderful description of what he says are the 4 different shifts in consciousness that a human being goes through from unconsciousness to consciousness. And I've added 2 right in the middle, and I think as I describe them, you'll begin to understand why. So the first is life happens to you. That's where most people live. They are a victim to your life. Life is happening to them, and they must do something. They must try to control life. And all this does is keeps us caught into the problem factory of our minds. Then you begin to mature and you move into life is happening by you, and this is when you begin to believe, well, man, I create my reality and I can control it all, and if I just think right, I can have everything I want. Of course, if you do this for very long, you'll see, number 1, it doesn't work to try to create a reality. Number 2, that you start fearing your thoughts. Oh my goodness, if I think that, will that happen? Number 3, you start feeling ashamed of yourself because creating your reality does not work. And number 4, you begin to realize that everything I long for and everything I truly long for is to be found in showing up for reality right here, right now. So that begins to take you in you. That's the 3rd phase of consciousness, the one that I added, the first one that I added. And that is where you begin to realize that all of the struggle inside of you is what keeps you away from the joy and the peace that is right here, right now. And so that's what we've been doing in this book, is how can you look within? How can you look to unhook from all of the spells that you took on that keep you separate from life? As you begin to see through the spells, you come to the 4th phase of consciousness for you. And that's what we're talking about today. That's where you begin to trust life. You actually trust life a lot. You trust that, day will come or night will come. You trust that, your food will be digested or your lungs will breathe. But we don't trust that life is for us in our personal lives, in what is happening. But the more you can see through these spells, the more you know and experience that life is giving you exactly what you need in order to come back to life. And this is where you really truly begin to relax into life, and you come to the 5th stage of consciousness through you. Pema Chodron, the wonderful Buddhist nun and author, her definition of enlightenment is relaxing into life. In other words, rather than you try to manipulate life, you allow all the creativity, all the joy, and all the teaching that life has to give to you to move through you. And you begin to watch feelings, thoughts, sensations moving through the vastness of who you truly are. And that brings you to the 6th phase, as you. That is where you recognize you are life. And I want to share with you a quote that I put in this part of the 6 phases from Eckhart Tolle, because he describes it the best. This is where all of this work we have been exploring together takes you. You come home to life. And Eckhart describes it in this way. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, an intrinsic part of it. Ultimately, you are not a person, but a focal point where the universe is becoming conscious of itself. What an amazing miracle. That is what happens when you see through this storyteller enough, that you come back to life. You begin to relax into its flow. You know that everything that is happening is for you, because you know life is smarter than you. And now you are engaged with the adventure of your life, rather than always trying to make it be something different than what it is. So I invite you, just for today, maybe for the next hour, to move from the knowing that your life is for you, that it's safe to open up to life, that this is an intelligent, mysterious flow. I like to call it the flawless, methodical mystery. It's absolutely flawless. You're getting exactly what you need. It's methodical because we all go through these 6 phases of consciousness. And it's mysterious because we'll never be able to understand it. But we can open up to it. So for just this day, be open to your life. Come home to your life.